people say to me, how do you spell your name? CH or SH? And I'm going, why? And they said, oh, the person's name can be SH or CHERYL. And I'm going, I don't know, it doesn't matter to me, I can't hear it.
Cheryl McCoy has breast cancer. She's also partially deaf. This is a film about the challenges that she and her profoundly deaf husband Phil face in their encounters with doctors and other health professionals.
Sometimes when I'm in bed, I'm wondering, where's the cancer in my body? What's it doing? How much is there? Is it growing? Is it stopped? It's an awful feeling because you can't look inside yourself and say, I want to get rid of it. When I went through the chemo, or before that when I had the operation, I needed something to make my mind sort of focus and something to do and not think all the time about cancer, the chemo. I needed some pleasure, but something that was easy but different. For 2 weeks when I had a shower, I washed and washed and washed because I knew it was going to go. And I used to be in the shower and I used to be upset because I used to think, how can I live without the breast? I've had it all my life. I can't imagine losing the breast. When I had the operation and I came round, I put my hand on my chest and it was flat. And I shouted, "You bastard, you took it off," and back to sleep. It was like I've lost a part of me. And it was really, really deep. And I didn't think I'd be able to come through. But I did. It wasn't until what I had to do was to look in the mirror and say, that is still you. Well, the part of you as a woman, feminine, the part of you as courting relationships, love relationships. It was difficult with my husband. I couldn't let him come near me, I couldn't let him hug me or even touch me around or anything. Sex was out. And
before there was the touching and the foreplay, it was fantastic, and once she had her breast taken off it was very emotional, and the first time I saw it, it was such a difference. It was so emotional to see that she'd lost her breast, and for the first couple of weeks she hid away and she wouldn't allow me to look, and through counselling and the interpreters we spoke about things in detail, and it caused a few arguments between us, and we were then saying it was because of miscommunication, I'd missed information, and I'd apologise then because of not having interpreters I hadn't understood fully what was going on, and it wasn't until we had the counselling sessions
to bring home some of the real problems faced by deaf people when there is no interpreter present in health settings. Phil and Cheryl decided to reenact some of their experiences.
I'm sorry, we couldn't manage to get an interpreter at this short notice. We tried to book one.
So that would be really difficult.
There's no interpreter here today.
No, I'm afraid not.
What's he saying? Why isn't there any interpreter? I mean, he's telling you everything, and you've got to tell me that's not good enough.
I'm sorry, we couldn't get an interpreter booked at this short notice for today. I'm really sorry.
What's he talking about? I don't understand. What's he saying? I want a proper interpreter here. Not a level 1 or 2, but I want a proper qualified interpreter. who's got medical knowledge and can understand what the doctor's saying, so we can understand. A qualified interpreter, that's what we should have. You know, I want this clear information. I want to know exactly what's been said. You know, it's really could be dangerous if we don't fully understand. He should be booking an interpreter.
The frequent failure of medical professionals to provide interpreters is a common problem for the deaf community.
Yeah, personally, I'm diabetic. I went to the GP. The GP, again, didn't explain anything to me. Nothing, no detail. They took some blood from me to do the blood tests, but I wanted to ask about the details, so I wanted a full explanation of what was going on, what was the results, and I got very little information, and the information I did get was written down I didn't understand. And that's the truth, I don't understand the doctor's handwriting. Can anybody understand a doctor's handwriting? And did they have an interpreter at that appointment? No. And were they deaf aware? No. So there you go, there's another breakdown. There's another breakdown in communication. Here it is, and I've said, oh, well, I've actually faxed you to say, please book an interpreter. Here's a copy of it in black and white.
As well as ignorance about signing, medical professionals often overlook many of the basic requirements for communicating with deaf people.
When I was going through the chemo, the worst thing for me was I couldn't contact the hospital. The fax was switched off. 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
This was a pigeon on the roof.
And they see how ill I am and they tell me off. They tell me off and say, why didn't you contact us and let us know? Because your fax isn't working. But there's one thing that a lot of doctors do. One is they sit behind you and they shout and they think that you can hear that way. And I say to them, look, sit down, look at me, talk to me, a bit slow, but don't shout, and they just don't understand why.
Yeah, these are.
And then the other thing some doctors do, they look down and they talk, and and I don't know what they're saying. It's so difficult.
Yeah, well, these are symptoms that are actually all. Sorry?
Sorry, what you're saying, you just go around there and you talk at the same time.
Oh, sorry.
I say to them, can you look at me, tell me what you want to say, then if you need to write it down, then say wait, write it down, put your head back up and then start again.
The absence of interpreters may also have an unexpected impact on relationships, driving a wedge between partners by causing painful misunderstandings.
I've just recently been told that I possibly have cancer, and that day they were going to confirm. We arrived at a hospital and the woman said, there's no interpreter, come in, we'll explain to you what we're going to tell you, and we feed back to my husband.
Yes, that's right. My wife, Cheryl, she was asked to liaise information on to me, and the doctors were talking to Cheryl. Cheryl wasn't well herself because of the cancer and had to digest all the information she was taking in.
How do I interpret to my husband that I've got cancer when I'm crying, I'm upset, I'm mentally fucked, if you like?
And then myself, I wasn't clear why she was getting upset and what was going on, and they were linking with each other, and I went, hold on, I need an interpreter, I need to make sure I'm clear of this, because if there's information that's being passed on and we're not understanding, it causes arguments between the two of us.
And you want me to sign to my husband saying I've got cancer? No. I said, I refuse, I won't do that. I said, no.